The Sublime Beauty of Salvation. Devotional Thoughts for Women by Marianne M. Grutner. God is a lover of the beautiful, and above all that is outwardly attractive, He loves beauty of character. He would have us cultivate purity and simplicity, the quiet graces of the flowers.
Good morning, dear friends. Today, April the 9th, our devotional is entitled, Don't Hide Your Story. Our scripture reading is from John chapter 9 and verse 11. A man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and I received sight. Toraya Pitt, a beautiful 24-year-old model and athlete, was competing in an ultra marathon in Australia in 2011 when a sudden forest fire surrounded her. She had burns on 65% of her body. Four fingers on her left hand and her right thumb were amputated, and she underwent more than 200 plastic surgeries. The final diagnosis indicated she could no longer train. Turaya almost died. She went through difficult times of pain, denial, and disappointment. However, with the support of her family and her boyfriend, whom she married in 2015, she gave meaning to her experience. She returned to training and the competitions and today motivates others with her story. In 2014, she was awarded the title Woman of the Year in New South Wales and was also one of the finalists for Young Australians of the Year. A humanitarian, Turaya has raised hundreds of dollars for Interplast and was featured in the cover of Australian Women's Weekly, attracting worldwide attention. 5 years after the fire, Turaya completed one of the toughest races in sport, the Ironman, and in 2017 she had her first child. Today's verse is the response of a young man who was blind from birth and healed by Jesus. The unbelievers and the curious could not believe it, and the Pharisees were annoyed because the miracle had taken place on the Sabbath. Then they called the parents, who identified their son, but refused to comment on how he had been healed. Finally, they called the man. Their prejudices did not allow them to perceive the influence of even a great miracle like this. The young man was embarrassed by the situation, but he was able to see, and no one could deny it. When he met Jesus again, he worshipped him as the Son of God, and now he could not keep quiet any longer. Even with her face disfigured, her hands mutilated, and her body scarred, Turaya has told her story of overcoming the world. The young man healed by Jesus could not hide his story either. Many needed to know the one behind it. What about you? Do you think that you have to go through a tragedy to have something to tell the world? If you have come to know Christ and experienced spiritual healing, you have the most precious story to share. What has He done for you? Tell the world. A man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and I received sight. John chapter 9 and verse 11.